Get those crazies out of the government. We need our Congress for everyone's benefit. The 1%, they just take what they like. We've got to show up and vote for our rights. So vote in November. Vote, a time to remember. Vote, don't be late. Vote, don't procrastinate. It's our country, our democracy. We can't afford mediocrity. If we do nothing, our hope floats away. Get up off of that thing.
Get up.
When it's
Get up. Hell, I just said that. I don't want to get up right now, but I will on voting day.
and vote
That's the key.
in November.
The key is on vote. There's so much facing this country, baby.
Time to remember. Vote.
Our participation, baby. That's what this democracy requires. Look at there. Can't even get the song in, and Michael Johnson done jumped in the room and come in with $2 and said, "Sorry, brother, I'm still working on my truck. Fuck Trump and fuck Abbott." Dude, get your truck fixed. That's an important thing in life, man. You gotta have your truck. Anyway, baby, I hope y'all are all doing well today. There's a lot of shit facing our country. But today they kind of popped in my head as emergence. A coming together of problems in our head, as you can see by the title. The two things that ain't never going to change. Ain't never going to change because they're right where they want it to be. In both situations, whether you're talking about guns or whether you're talking about immigration. I did a video earlier today where I can't drive around my place down here. There's Border Patrol all over the place down here. There's law enforcement around, babe. They're looking for that guy that shot up that family in Houston, up by Cleveland, Texas. And as I said earlier, I know how the guy got in this country. Deported 4 times, but back. My question is, how'd he get that gun? Well, the answer is, it's not hard. Isn't that sad? But my governor, he wants to blame it on the immigration. Illegal immigrants, that's it. That's what he wanted to promote. Immigration, the problems with both immigration and guns are something it's almost like I feel we're generations from solving any of it. You know, the immigration problem is there exactly the way they want it. The Republicans want to make it into a fear-mongering issue that just look at here, the bad people are coming to get you. Guns, well, you need to have them to protect you from all the bad people coming to get you. Fear in this country has prompted so much. And there's nothing there to be happy about. There's nothing there to be proud of. In both situations, it's pretty damn bad. Anyway, I get ahead of myself. Dwayne Twizzle was the first one to jump in, followed by Bart Larson. Mega Wet Willie is here, and Jay Clayton. Jay Clayton and Stephanie Dean are here, and they're thinking about having a cruise, but not before they have to deal with a local high school in Palm Bay that was shut down because of a student. Said he had a bullet for every student's head. Think about that. what kind of world we're bringing up. Anyway, Nancy Halverson is here, as is Adina Michael. That smart-ass squad. Martha's here. Bruce Preston is here. Karen Van Wyck. Adina Michael. Let me see. Mark Perkins, thank you for being here. Jeff Curry, BW. Jeanette Miller. Ginger Chant Show, Virginia Whitley, thank you for being here. And y'all don't forget to tune into her. She uses her voice on a regular basis. Carol Lowe is here. Let me get on down here. I'm just, yeah, Gordon Lightfoot. I've seen that go by. Getting close, baby. That when it hits close to you. Anyway, I'm glad y'all are here. And it is. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting. So let's just jump right in here and get our panel up here. I see my neighbor in here. We'll get Joe up in here too. Hello, Bernadette.
Hi, John.
How are you doing, dear?
I'm disturbed as you are, because it just keeps happening. We're in the 180s now with the mass shootings for this year. It's just second of May. It's disturbing. It's disturbing that they haven't caught this guy. I doubt seriously he's still in the country. He's too close to what he knows.
Yeah.
And knows how to get there.
This isn't his first rodeo. He's been down this trail before.
No, absolutely.
So he knows the ins and outs on how to get there. But we'll get into that in just a second.
Yeah.
Mr. Chick?
Yeah, John.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It stopped snowing.
Oh, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can almost not even call it snow. It was sort of like a icy, slushy, slurpy thing.
Oh, that messy shit.
Just didn't have my favorite color.
Wasn't that nice, fluffy white stuff, huh?
No, it wasn't fluffy.
No. It's going to make a mess. That's all right. It'll eventually melt and go away, and the spring flowers will come. That's what they say. Anyway,
eventually in June, yeah.
In June. Well, thank you for being here. And Joe Garcia, are you in here, buddy? I ain't hearing you. You ain't lighting up, nothing.
Yeah.
There you are.
I'm swimming against.
How are you doing, Joe?
Well, I feel like I'm swimming against the riptide.
Are you? That's the way it goes down here
Yes, sir.
sometimes. Anyway, before we go ahead.
Tell you what.
Huh. Joe, are you having problems? You kind of break it up a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah. How about go back down?
I can hear.
How about I send you back down and try again?
Go back down.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it again.
All righty. And while we wait for Joe, let me thank Linda Gallup, who came in with $10 and said, I am so over our gun violence here. Let's vote these Republicans out, get our youth energized, and register to vote. Boy, howdy, all of that in a nutshell. All of that. Yes, we have to. Are we going to? Yes, we have to. Yes, we have to. I'm frustrated. I really am. Because, we are afraid. The whole damn country's afraid. Either of mass shooting or, the problems we face in this country. It's our lawmakers up there that are creating the bottlenecks to getting anything done. Did I lose everybody?
No, we're just listening to you.
Okay. Thought I lost.
No, but you're absolutely right. There, John, I'm gonna correct you again. I did it the last.
Somebody needs to.
There are things we can do.
Yes.
One of them is getting out in the vote. And I heard this morning on a different station, a woman called in, talk show.
Right.
And I didn't catch her name or the group that she was affiliated with, but she goes around and she registers 18 to 35 demographic to vote. Okay.
Right.
She says registration is up 16% because these kids are faced with. Oh, they are on fire, and they are.
They're the ones that are getting shot.
Yeah, they're faced with gun violence. They're faced with climate change, and they're faced with abortion rights. and it affects every area of their life, and they are motivated to get out and vote, and we should encourage them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It,
So the numbers
Absolutely.
are rising as far as the rank and file getting out and vote,
right.
and we just got to keep it going on. We got to keep it going on.
Every day you can look in the news and see another reason for it. Another reason for you
Absolutely.
to be involved. Another reason for you to care. Every day. You know, this is
And another reason to use your voice and do something.
yes. Everyone. And on that note, let's don't forget to. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh wait.
Squirrel.
Oh, there it is. You can start by using your voice and writing to the Supreme Court of the United States, the Chief Justice John Roberts. There's the address right there. That's one way you can use your voice, because the credibility of the court is up for discussion. The integrity of the court is up for discussion, and we need your voice to get in everywhere you can. Joe, did you make it in here?
I think so. Can you
You're
hear me
good,
now?
buddy. I can hear you fine now. How are you doing?
Oh, I am. Like I said, I felt like I'm swimming against the riptide.
What's up, buddy?
Well, I got myself in Facebook jail again. All I
Did
did
you?
was say,
Congratulations. How many times is that? You know, plenty, I know. You know where I ain't never been? Facebook jail. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I'm never there. But let me see. What did I see go by? Something went by.
Are you still cutting out there, Joe?
Joe, are you with us? Mark,
You
Mitch.
did have.
Yeah, I think he's
Yes.
having trouble. Mitch, are you with us?
Ye-
I am
Well,
with you.
John. Okay, John.
Yes,
You
dear.
did have a super chat pop up.
No, I
And
didn't.
it didn't ding.
It did ding.
It didn't ding.
It did
It
not
didn't
come
ding.
through here. Let me
Okay,
back it
well.
up. Ah, a little
Yeah.
late. Mitch Goldstein. Hey, how you doing, Mitch? Thank you very much.
All right, Don. All
Uh-oh.
right. How you doing, Bernadette?
He just came in with
I'm
$5.
fine. Welcome.
Tell John Roberts he needs to get his court in order.
Yeah.
There's a big one. Hell yes.
Tell him his
Hell
court
yes.
is illegitimate.
Until he tells.
Illegitimate. From
We
him
kind
all
of
the
have
way
a
down.
problem. We have a problem
What?
because we have
A problem?
an illegitimate SCOTUS. We have an illegitimate House of Representatives.
Yeah.
We have illegitimate shenanigans going on in every red state house, trying
Yeah.
to disenfranchise voters, voters of color, women voters, elderly voters, and student voters.
Yep.
and the LGBTQ.
Did you
And
see what
let's-
they're doing in Missouri? Which is what
Yes.
you can expect to see all around this country in red states. They're moving the requirement for passing a constitutional amendment in their state from the current simple majority to 57%. Which in a state that's gerrymandered, you know, it says that the historically progressive ballot measures usually historically win by about 50 to 55%. Raising it to 57%, and some of them want 60. Well, it just erases any chance of the public, the citizens of that state, regardless of what they want.
Red states don't want the citizens to be in charge.
No, that's
They
the whole-
wouldn't be red states
No.
very long.
It's all about the gerrymandering. I was reading that article, and I remember it said that there was only 40% of Missourians identify as Republican. So if only 40% of the state identifies as Republican, then why in the hell is it so red? One word answer:
Disenfranchisement,
It's
intimidation, changing
gerrymandering.
the laws, gerrymandering, all those things.
All the above.
They want to change the by the people for the people.
Yeah, they want to change that by me for me.
Well,
There you go.
that's the Citizens United problem, is
Yes.
changing the by the people for the people from by the corporations for the extremely unimaginably wealthy.
Yeah, because the situation we're facing right now with the budget crisis, and I understand now Joe is going to meet with Kevin McCarthy, which I got a problem with that. But if they don't move, and our debt, the debt crisis goes into default, there's a, you know who that's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt, Betsy Betsy, whatever her name is, with 8, yachts out there. Betsy DeVos, she has 8 yachts. It's not going to hurt her. You buying a loaf of bread? Oh, hell yeah.
$5 loaf of bread. Yeah.
Oh, Suzanne, am I being not loud enough? How's that? Does that help any?
I don't know because I'm listening in the room, so I don't know how loud it is or not elsewhere.
Suzanne said I wasn't loud enough. She said she's deaf. And you're not an old hag, baby. I met you.
She'll have to turn her volume up
Turn
then,
your
maybe.
volume up, baby. Turn your hearing aid up. Anyway. Yeah. This is going to hurt us.
John, I was just answering the low volume thing too, and I hear you fine in Discord, and I hear you fine on YouTube, and I'm using 2 separate devices. So, Suzanne and BP, I'm not sure
that.
what's going on, but I do think that the settings might be perhaps on your side.
Is that helping at all right there? Is that coming any louder?
I would need for somebody else to answer because I hear you fine.
Yeah, you sound the same to us.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for anybody in the chat to say if the volume got a little bit better. Okay, Jeanette Miller said it's James Price says loud and clear on Facebook and Discord here. So okay, maybe that fixed it. I turned the, I don't know.
Might be, it might be personal settings.
That little dial over there. Jeanette Miller says that's louder. All right, where were we?
If you're on a Bluetooth, I would say try it without Bluetooth speakers or Bluetooth headphones or something like that, and see if the setting on your phone is actually fine. There's separate Bluetooth settings, so you might have to adjust the volume there. But I think it's on your side, guys.
Okay, a lot of them are saying they can hear me better now. I must have hit the right one over there.
Okay, good, John.
A bunch of sliding things. I know. I don't. There's certain buttons I know I can't touch. Some I look at and go, "What does this do?"
John, that fellow up there in Cleveland, he had help getting away.
You know, Marsha and I were talking about.
Exactly.
We were talking earlier. The reward now is up to $80,000. How many of his friends, and they said they're gonna broadcast this reward business down in Mexico, so people down there know. How many of his friends think he's worth $80,000?
Yeah, right.
I think they're looking in the wrong direction. I don't think he went south.
You don't think so?
No, I think he went east.
You know, the idea that he would go where he's not expected to go would be a wise move on his part.
I don't know if it's national forest or what it is, but it's to the east of Cleveland, and it would take a lot to search for him there.
Yeah,
if he's able to,
that's very dense
rough
piney woods out there.
Yeah, he could be anywhere
A lot
there.
of swamp land out there going east. So.
But looks like they've never found. Maybe got.
What happened to Mitch?
Mitch said he had to go.
Oh. Well, shit.
Oh.
You were going to say, Joe, I'm sorry?
No. Yeah.
Have you, Joe, have you seen any Border Patrol in your travels today? I've seen 3. I've seen 3 today. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell people on my video earlier, is that the divide between Mexico and the United States used to be the river I live on. The Nueces River used to be the dividing line between Mexico and the United States. My house would be in Mexico right now. And
that's right.
Yeah, before the Spanish-American War, or the war. Don't get me started on my history shit. Anyway, one of them wars. Yeah, it moved the border to the Rio Grande. But before that, it was this river. And if you were heading from the Houston area, anywhere up there, headed towards Mexico, before you get to the Rio Grande, you have to cross this river somewhere. So I imagine they have just about every bridge covered by any way across this river, because there's not that many. You know,
Yep.
unless you're going
And
way out west.
I know he had help because he knew exactly that his phone was pinging and telling them where he was, and he dumped that phone. He had help because he got
Yeah.
clothes. And you know, when a helicopter went over there looking for him, that's the they have the infrared and heat seeking, and they couldn't find him. So he wasn't there. He wasn't there because he got picked up and he got moved.
Yeah, with thermal
So it's-
imaging, you'd think they'd, even at night, they'd be able to
Yeah.
find some kind of heat signature coming from him. But
Yeah,
so
and
far,
he-
they have not been able to, you know, to locate him. And until they do,
and
everybody's on edge. You don't
Mhm.
know which
And
way
my
he
wife-
went.
my wife said, well, maybe his wife helped him. I said, no, they were talking to her almost immediately after he did
Anybody
what he
he
did.
knew. You know, what
Yeah.
struck me, though, is the family that suffered the tragedy called the police, the sheriff's department, several times. I think like 4 or 5 times.
5
Yeah,
times.
and-
5 times? 5
And
times.
the
Time.
thing,
That's not a family that is concerned about interacting with law enforcement.
no, and bottom line, if you're going to look at it logically, when the cops were called and they didn't show up or they didn't do anything about it, whose fault is this whole situation? Because he was being called on for a weapon of that sort, firing it,
Yes.
and you know, the thing is, the law is the law. Just like I was telling you the other day about that preacher man,
Yeah,
right?
with the
that,
gun.
had
Yeah.
this yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I spoke to the chief of police, and I
Power
said
of the
that
Lord.
guy should have been charged with reckless endangerment and various charges. And they're going to have a city hall meeting again,
Good.
and but that's talk is cheap.
Yeah.
You know, if there's nothing going to be done about it,
You know,
sooner or later.
The reason I put in a thing earlier today about the 2 things we can't do, it's almost like the gun issue has hit the tipping point already. You know, because we've already demonstrated we're not serious about getting guns off the street.
No,
Every one of our legislators is tied somehow to a gun lobby, I think, and it's just it's the kryptonite of all the amendments, all the powers of the Constitution. That's the one that's untouchable. You know, and it's such bullshit. Nobody else on this planet has that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mamie
And the
Ricks
thing is
just came in with a $10 donation. Mamie, thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. You were going to say, Joe, I'm sorry.
They protect the Second Amendment rights so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
but are willing to destroy our First Amendment right.
Hey, that Second Amendment supersedes every other right you have.
Mhm.
Every other right. The right to breathe your next breath is superseded by some guy with a weapon.
Yes.
He decides. And
And then they're
that's the
protected.
society we've built.
Yeah. As rights, I mean, they have
Uh-oh.
they have a right. They have more than
They have more rights
Citizen-
than anybody.
Yeah.
More rights than any. It is
They call them your Second Amendment right, your constitutional right.
your constitutional right. I believe life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was written before the Second Amendment.
Yeah, but they're not a right.
Yes. It says whose happiness? You know, whose happiness are you talking about? You know.
now. That's just like our Social Security and Medicare. All of that is an entitlement. So our First Amendment is
They love that word too. Oh, they think they're
yeah.
entitled. Hell yes, because you pay into it. You pay into it. But even Social Security, right now, if we don't get this debt ceiling, you guess who the first one's going to? You know, your Social Security may not come, baby. Your
That's
veteran
right.
benefits, maybe not. You know, they're willing to play with this. And,
well,
and
they're willing to destroy the middleman, but not the rich.
no, this
Well, and
was.
then they'll turn around and try and blame it on Biden when
Oh,
it's
sure.
his fault at all.
Oh, sure.
That's the
That's
whole.
the
Biden
narrative,
won't
right?
negotiate. It has nothing to do with all the money they already spent.
They scream really loud all the time. I
All the
watched the committee today that was talking to some retired justices, and
Right.
or there was a lady that was a professor of law or something.
Right.
Anyways, they were talking about the ethics issue, and your representative, Bruce, of course, he's got his picture displays and
Of course.
he can't talk in a civil tone. It's all very loud and very, abrasive.
He's very
and,
animated.
well,
you can
sort
just
of.
you
His
can just
voice is,
yeah.
but yeah, and I just sit there and listen to him and poke holes in what he's saying, because it's usually pretty hypocritical what he says. I don't think he even knows that.
He is the most disliked person in the Senate for
Yeah.
a reason. Everybody hates him. Hell, Republicans hate his ass.
Well,
But they need
coming
his
in
vote.
a close second is McCarthy.
What about
I
McCarthy?
hate when he gets that smile that he thinks he's got something. I hate
You
that.
know he's
That-
smiling
that
today.
smug
He's got a
look.
meeting with Biden. Biden gave him a meeting, and I'm not sure I like that. I mean, but right now, the situation that they're talking about, let's go ahead and have a meeting so Joe can tell him right up the face. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
We're not
it's
doing
okay.
that.
Let him have a
Yeah, let
meeting.
him
Let's
have a
just
meeting.
sit and chat with him a little bit.
Satisfy everybody's urge. Oh, he won't even meet with us. Okay, we'll meet with you.
There
Now get
was
the hell out.
a Russian reporter that, to his face, asked McCarthy. Let's see. He told him. He said, "I heard you did not want to send any arms or help Ukraine, and are you still going to hold steady with that, or whatever it was?" And McCarthy was like, no, I never said that. No,
Yeah.
I supported all the weapons.
I saw part of it.
And,
I saw him backpedaling. That's what I saw.
yeah,
Oh, I went too far. Wait a minute. Let me back up a little bit. Yeah. And Ukraine. Yes, dear.
Did you get the last super chat that came in?
Lady Freedom Rocks.
Yeah, I think he missed
Lady
it.
Yes,
Freedom Rocks
yes,
and
well,
to all the ships at sea came in with $2. Said Trump issue is close to being handled. Ooh.
No.
Oh,
no,
the ramp
no,
issue.
ramp.
I looked
Ramp.
over there and saw Trump. I saw the MP on the end. The ramp issue. Well, good. Outstanding. Outstanding. I know that will make life a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
That'd be
that's
good.
going on. Good. Yes. Yeah. My mother-in-law.
But John, in the
Yeah.
bigger picture of things,
Uh-huh.
I feel like some days, even just complaining about politics seems like a privilege.
Darling,
This week, May 1st through May 7th, is National Week of Action for Missing Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. And that is a big issue. And we talk about, for instance, the shooting that just happened and how much media coverage that is getting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever see any
No.
coverage of an Indigenous
No.
woman's missing or murdered
And the numbers
case?
are high. I know
They
that.
are high. They're
They are.
incredibly high. In 2016, there was like 5,712 murdered or missing women and girls.
And what does that
reported.
say about us? When you delve into some of this stuff, you really, you do. You shake your head. Really?
Yeah.
Indigenous women, indigenous
And-
people who are treated
part
as
of it
third-class citizens as it is?
It is the third most reason for Indigenous woman's death is murder.
Yes.
Because it's easier to get away
plain and
with.
simple. That's
It's easier to get
no.
away with. There's no
And nobody
investigation.
talks about that.
No.
But
The only
some
the only
18-year-old
law on
white
it.
girl go missing, and she's all over the
Oh,
national
Lord,
news,
yeah.
and yet you never hear about these missing women,
No.
indigenous
Especially if they're women of
indigenous
color.
Black people, and they go missing, and their families are distraught, just as distraught as the little white girl's families.
Yes.
Okay.
And just as
but they don't have the
impactful.
money to get on the news.
Well, they're also in a
and they
position-
don't get the attention. They
They're
don't
in a
get the
They don't
position
get
attention.
the
where they-
sympathy.
No, well, they
No.
might be afraid to go and report it. Number one, because the policing situation has always been horrible.
Well,
They don't trust the police. Don't blame them. And
but you know,
they're
there's a hashtag that's going around this month, inciting that, and it's hashtag No More Stolen Sisters. And
yeah.
so, you know, spread that around and spread the word. I put the links
Thank you.
The
in the
other one
chat
is
so
enough
you
is
can
enough.
Good.
Yeah.
click on nativehope.org and learn more about the missing indigenous women in this country, and an excellent movie called Voices Unheard, right here on YouTube that you can watch. It's not very long,
Yeah.
but it gives you an idea of what it's like, and the trials and tribulations that these families have to go through, because they're not missing for months or years and then they're found. They're missing forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're missing forever.
Very little resources put to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, what
And
kind
awareness.
of a failure of our society is that? Not only of our society, but of our government more precisely.
Well, they would, you know, the current state of white America would really like you to believe that there ain't nobody else here but white Americans that
Well,
we need to be concerned about.
Well,
So,
and
you know,
let's talk about that. I mean, they had that issue with, and I don't have to mention her name because you'll be able to guess her name. That's how much it was in the media. The young lady and her boyfriend that were traveling across the country,
oh,
and
sure.
she went missing.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name right now off
Oh,
the
you
top of my
don't?
head. No, but if just a hint, if
Gabby
you gave me.
Petito, if you want to know.
Yes,
her
there
name.
you go.
Yeah.
Gabby
Thank you. Yes.
But most everybody had a picture in their mind right away because she was internationally blown up all over.
But yet
That
he was
case
allowed to
was all
drive
over the
home,
place.
visit with his family, stay there.
But yet, have you ever heard of Hannah Harris?
Never heard of her. Never have heard of her.
Hannah Harris. May 5th is a National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. May 5th specifically, that was Hannah's birthday. And Hannah was found murdered 10 years ago.
10 years.
10 years. She was 21 when she died. She would have been 31. And you don't hear about it. And say her name. The tricky part is with some of the tribes and their traditions, their beliefs, and the way they do things.
Right.
You got to be careful because sometimes you can't say their names, and it gets real tricky to try and do media around that because they don't. I don't want to go into all of it because I might mis-explain it, but it's just like having specific things that we do at a funeral, and the Jewish
Right.
people do something different, and well, the indigenous people have specific ceremonies and things
Right.
that they do, and one of it is to not say the deceased's name for a certain number of days, because they don't want to call their spirit back. They want their spirit to journey on. But if you don't know, if the person's missing and you don't know whether they're dead or
Yeah,
not,
that gets
you don't want to say their name.
Gets in the way of putting out the word.
Right.
that
It doesn't
somebody is
mean you
missing.
can't read the name or see
Yeah.
the picture, or that kind of thing. So it gets a little tricky, and there are a few connections. I think I found one from Canada that had a very excellent resource for people that work in hospitals and law enforcement, and
Right.
how to respectfully help the indigenous people and not trample all over, their belief system and the way they communicate and stuff. And it was, I read through it and it was amazing. It was like, well, okay, that makes sense. If you just learn a little
I
more,
would think that
a
they
little
need
more.
more state and federal resources to be
you
able
know,
to.
even if you can't participate in some of the national campaigns that are going on, it's good to know that they are going on. At least you could help spread the word
You
that
can.
these national campaigns are going on, because this is huge, you guys. I mean,
If nothing else, just like do a quick little Google of, the MMIW. just type that in, MMIW, and a whole bunch of stuff will pop up. And
Yep.
just, take some time, look around at it. It's,
If there's anything you can do to help, then yeah, do that.
yeah, awareness. Just
Awareness and nothing
that
else,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
But it's not only in our laws, it's in our society. I noticed in the
Yeah.
conversation going on in the chat, and Just Coggins wrote, I didn't see it all, it's just these last two things, evidently they're talking about it. Somebody doing a test.
What they're talking about is an ad that ran
Okay.
right before the show here, and it's an ad of
Yeah,
it shows
a young
it
black girl
shows-
standing alone and nobody helps.
racism in all of 30 seconds. Okay, and what it does is it has a little black girl who's standing in a very busy walkway, and a little white girl who's also the little black girl is standing there, and everybody's just walking by her, just completely
Yeah.
ignores it. This child is 7, 8, somewhere around there. Okay, they take her out and put in a little white girl, and everybody stops to ask the little white girl,
What's the matter?
"Where
Are you
going?
lost? Where's your mama?
What's up?"
We
Yeah,
need to help
they
you.
give her a lot of attention. And
That's-
that's the way it is.
that
for
says more about our
indigenous
society
and
than
Muslim
anything.
women in this country. It's the same freaking way. And so this is America. This is America.
That's what
It's right there in
you know.
front of your face.
I don't want to say I'm embarrassed as a white person. I'm embarrassed as an American. As an American, that we allow this kind of racism and how we treat indigenous people. It's the same ball of wax is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And here we are in 2023. Here we are, 2023, and there are still people in this country who want to separate it right down the line.
And very, very strongly. And they're doing everything that they can. Hell, your Assbot did it yesterday when he came out with that comment.
Yes.
That comment was purely designed
It was,
to
yes.
not only disgrace the family, but disgrace the shooter and give all the rights to the legal gun owners
Right.
who also
Right.
commit mass murder.
Get your gun out here. We got a bad guy on the loose. Let's everybody go hunt for him. Yeah, it's exactly that. His language itself, because he's trying to
it's
shift it
deliberate.
away from a gun issue to look at that they were illegal immigrants.
Immigration.
Illegal. Well, what the hell? Shouldn't have been here
John,
Are you shitting me? He's an
Everybody
embarrassment.
in this country needs to do everything they can to take out Ron shit stain.
The shit
and
stain, Greg Abbott, and there's others. But those two right there, you bet, because they're in a competition for this. Look at me, I'm the most right-wing nut job you can get. I'm more Trumpier than Trump. I want to do it. Yeah.
This could be the floor of the Republican Party. Those two are in the race to the bottom.
Because look what they're willing
Okay.
to do to this country, for their own benefit, for their own glory. Ron DeSantis down there with his war against Disney and banning books and everything else. Are you shitting me? He's off the deep end. Greg Abbott down here, same way. Let's bus all our migrants to New York City. Let's take them to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, you're helping a lot, aren't you? No, you're not. But that's what we have. It's just, right now in my eyes, the Republican Party that is all about the circus, baby. It's all about the circus. 3 rings going on, immigration, guns. Well, whatever.
Can someone clarify for me Greg Abbott put a certain amount of money out there
Yes.
when this shooting
50,000
happened? But whose money is it?
taxpayers, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't his personal money.
Oh, no. Greg Abbott reach into his pocket? No,
Are
baby.
your brain
Oh,
cells
no.
popping? They would never come
No.
out of his
I
pocket.
didn't think so. I really didn't think so, but it didn't specify. It just said that
No.
Greg Abbott put
Yeah.
$50,000 out.
Greg
for a
Abbott's
thing,
not
and
about to
I'm like,
take any money out of his
He didn't do
pocket.
shit. He didn't
could
do
give
shit.
2
Just like he
shits.
didn't do shit after Uvalde. He didn't do shit.
Nope.
No.
It's all about the gun rights, baby.
Yeah.
It's been 4
So if he
days
can
and they have
distract any
no
way he
idea where
can,
that guy is.
he will.
And so he has to get out there and say something because his people
Yeah.
are upset that there's a illegal immigrant with the
I said, honestly,
AK-47 on the loose.
Well, we already know how well his people failed in Uvalde, so why would they get this right?
Why wouldn't we have
you
gotten
know,
it right
it's all
after
about-
Sandy Hook? Because let's
You
admit it,
know,
we all
when-
thought that was going to be it when that happened. This is going to be it. It's going to bring change. No, didn't bring shit. Because the gun is more powerful than the law. The Second Amendment supersedes everything.
Second Amendment supersedes
Everything.
your right to life.
And I know what pisses me off, really, is this thought in my freaking head that really we cannot do. What is preventing us from doing a gun buyback? No, you're not going to get all the guns. You're not going to get all the guns. But you're going to get a lot of guns. A lot. Why don't we do that? We're not. Because it's our culture. Everything, from the Wild West right up to today, it all depends on the iron you got on your hip, baby. No. Like I said, when our founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment, baby, I don't think they were worried about George or anybody else loading their musket up and going down to the local school. No, wasn't on their mind. Wouldn't even conceive of such shit.
No.
Well, not at the school of the settlement. The school of the Native Americans. Oh yeah, not a problem. Go over there. Maybe that's where it's been with us forever. Law enforcement itself is based on slave hunters. That's where police came from. There's no law. I don't know. I don't know the answers. I keep asking my question. I'm going to drive myself nuts with all the shit that runs through my head every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does. All you have to do is turn on your computer. Look at your phone.
I rant at myself when I'm out walking the dog.
I talk to myself all the time. And a lot of it starts with, are you shitting me? God knows. Again, really?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's not
It's all
anything we haven't
designed
seen
to keep
before.
It's all designed to keep us exhausted and too exhausted to pay attention
Yes.
to the shit that they're really trying to do, which is suppress everybody's fucking vote in this country. Because, they have an agenda. They have an agenda. Their agenda is to stay in power at all costs, no matter what.
And that's what this...
And if that includes your kids and your family, that's fine by them.
If you have to be laid on the altar of the Second Amendment...
Sacrifices will have to be made, and it won't be theirs.
It won't be theirs, no. Hello, DJ.
Hey, how you doing,
JC, the oldest hippie. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Another day, baby, another day.
Good. Hey, I watched this guy on TikTok. He goes under muscles and nursing, and he's got 1 million followers. And today he posted a video that showing the Texas legislature passing a bill to teach third graders and up battlefield trauma. So if they're in a school and there's a shooting, they can help the wounded.
Because every third grader needs to know how to do that.
Yeah, and 14-year-olds need to be able to
That's
spell.
what you're teaching in school. It's pretty much an admission
themselves.
that you can't do shit to protect them. That's what that is. I'm not familiar with that. Teaching third graders first aid.
Yeah. The thing
it's a
about
great
it
idea,
is,
but the premise on what they're doing it.
Yeah, if you think about it, the thing is, that's not what they should be doing. What they should be doing is doing laws that restrict who gets guns and doing better jobs.
Well,
of checking.
you know what my idea is. First, you have to put up some guard towers around the school because you want a good high elevation to shoot from, and put up some sandbags around every, with little foxhole there to protect their, barbed wire. You got to have that. And that's just the schools. Wait till you try to go to the mall. Holy shit. Want to go to the movies? I'm sorry. Gonna have to have a strip shirt before we let you in.
Yeah.
It's how far do you carry that shit? Outside of the one obvious answer.
Their answer after Uvalde, they wanted to arm the teachers. What's next? They're going to want to arm the students?
Apparently.
Yes.
They're still trying to arm teachers in Missouri.
Yes, they are trying to. I read that somewhere. They're trying to pass it where students can carry. they can go through training, get qualified, and carry. Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? You want to put a
Yeah,
16,
really.
17, 18-year-old in there with a... Yes. Yes, they would.
Yeah. 16, 17-year-old at it, their teacher could flunk and just are and
Again, put up the guard
Give-
towers. Put up the guard
Yeah.
towers. Hell, let's
probably
just move the
go
prisons,
to heaven.
the prisoners out. We'll just move schools into prisons. That make it easier. We don't have to mess with all that infrastructure shit. We'll protect them kids that way. Oh wait,
Give them guns and think
they
about the
get
bullies
shit
who
in
beat
prison
up
too, don't
everybody
they? All
with
sorts of
knives
drugs and weapons. Oh
Mhm.
shit. Yeah, and besides that, that guy up in I knew I was going to forget where are the stabbings going on right now. There's a state and a college somewhere in America just now going on. There's been 3 stabbings already
Today?
in the last few days.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody look up stabbings real quick, and you'll see. Yeah.
I don't want to look up stabbings.
All I can see is imagine there's some nut job out there saying, "Oh, you ban knives. Look at this. I can run around and kill people with a knife." Yeah, it's near a college. I know one dead. I know 2 others I know that were stabbed. These are separate incidents, not all
In
together.
California,
It was in California.
UC Davis.
Yes, UC Davis, University of California in Davis, right?
3 stabbings.
Yeah.
They don't know. They haven't got the guy yet. How many stabbings? 3?
3 stabbings in 1 week, I guess.
Yeah, some guy running
Two
around
of
out there
them
just
were
stabbing
fatal.
people.
Well, that's because he can't afford an AR.
Yeah, can't afford a gun. Well, I'll show you. I don't know. Where do you go in this country that you're not worried? Because I live out in the middle of nowhere, and for some reason I have to be concerned now. There might be some guy swimming across my river. I don't know.
Yeah.
Believe me though, when I go outside, I look. You know, but it doesn't matter where you live in this country. You know?
No, it doesn't, because 5 hours ago there was a stabbing in Cape Girardeau, which is just south of me on 55.
Well, there you go. Switch from it's not, you know, what are we going to turn from the guns to knives?
And yet today in Memphis, Tennessee, you had shots fired at the Fox 13's TV station.
Really?
Yeah, I did
Um,
hear that.
Yeah, that happened today.
Welcome to the
and,
circus,
you know,
baby.
the whole town was on lockdown because there was an active shooter situation going on for today. And you know, this is every day, you guys.
It's every day in America,
Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus.
and all we get is a 3-ring circus. That's it. We get a Congress up there that has so many issues going on that they'll scream about but get nothing done about. And every day this country suffers more and more in so many different ways.
Did anybody see the dinner at the White House?
The
Correspondence?
the correspondence dinner. Oh,
Oh,
I did not miss a minute, buddy.
Oh, Joe really did a good job on
Joe
Fox.
did a great job on there.
Yes, you did.
Yes, he did, and so
How
did
about
Roy Wood Jr. Did an
Roy
excellent
Wood
job.
Yeah,
is
he's fun.
Yeah,
he's
really.
a comedian, right? Roy Wood?
Yeah,
Boy, he was funny.
I see
mean,
him
he
on
was
Comedy
fucking
Central all the time.
good. Man, he was good.
Ain't nobody gonna be watching shit though. All the night shows are gone. All the evening talk shows are gone now because yes, you're not gonna see anything live tonight. Everything is gonna be reruns
Yes,
because we have a writer's strike.
Writers strike.
Oh,
in
that's
Hollywood
right.
Yeah.
going on. And
You mean the hosts were not smart enough to make their own jokes?
Well, I think some.
Oh, they ain't got time for that.
They ain't got time for it. Yeah,
They
they're
ain't
smart enough. They just ain't got time and day.
Well, actually, you know, the way things are, they wouldn't do that because it would be
Yeah.
like stepping across the line.
That
you
line.
know?
Well,
And I can understand how writers, really, if you stop and look at the discussion today in our whatever about AI.
Yeah, and they're concerned about it.
Yes.
But you know, and the shows are saying, hey, you know, we could get by with 2 writers and
Yeah.
a computer with AI, and you know, fire all the rest of them. What do
Yeah,
we need
let's
12
get rid of
writers
everybody.
for?
What do we need writers for? We can just tell
Yeah.
AI, write me a story, a funny story about this, and have.
I'm with the writers.
Oh,
with
I
the
am
writers.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's you know.
No,
What's
I don't
you know,
watch
if you
stupid
keep
TV
this going?
anyway, so they can stop writing that shit, and I'd be perfectly
Uh,
happy. Wouldn't miss a thing. Okay.
Travis and I got into the discussion about where AI is going, and I'm telling you, it don't look good for for humans, baby. Well, not
It's
for many,
pretty
many
powerful,
years,
John.
but it is going to have a great impact.
Yeah, I was listening to a report today about a doctor who does neurosurgery, does works on the brain and shit like that, and he was touting the aspects of AI in something like that, and in being able to detect a brain
Yes,
tumor within a matter of days, as
far
opposed
better
to
than any human eye
weeks.
could detect.
And that application, I have no problem
No.
with AI. In knee surgery, I have no problem with AI. But to sit here and just try to mimic human beings and repeat human beings and be human beings and even argue with human beings, sometimes call them out.
Well,
Okay.
most people have
Yeah,
already
no, I'm not good with that. You know, I love the fact that Dominic is an exceptional writer and reader because he actually picks up physical books
There
and
you
it's not just
go. We
online,
love that
you
kid.
know.
We love that kid.
Exactly. You know, I love the fact that he's into that and he's very, very good at what he does. And I would hate to see him turn into AI chat bot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Angie, that's it.
You know, that's,
Bernadette.
you know, there's nothing original in Hollywood anyway. Maybe they do need some new writing going on, but Jesus Christ, if it's just gonna mimic the shit that's already out there, yeah, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Stupid
I
TV.
worry. I
There we
worry about
go.
AI. Can you
There's
imagine?
of AI, everybody.
Yeah.
The first one is the one we're at now. It's called narrow artificial intelligence. And basically, that's just rule based systems. All it does is scrape the net and pull in stuff that it finds on the net, formats it into context, and presents it.
Yeah.
That's what that AI chat GPT does. The
Yeah.
second one is AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. That's the next level. We're not there yet. And the third level is artificial super intelligence. That's where it thinks for
That's where they
itself.
take over and kill us, right?
Right, but we're
Yeah,
a long
yeah,
way from
yeah.
that.
Well, let's hope
Well,
No,
so.
that,
we're
yeah, I
we
remember
now
that shit from the Terminator. Okay,
Yeah,
when Arnold,
I
my
didn't see the
former
movie, but
governor,
they told
used
me
to
all
be a
about it.
movie star, and yeah, I really liked that movie.
Let's
That's a
get
great
everybody
movie.
in here. Miss Linda, are you with us?
Darn it.
Miss Linda? Mary Ellen. Uh-oh, baby, you're lighting up.
I can kind of hear her a little, but it's really quiet.
hmm
Hang on a second.
Okay.
How about ARI?
ARI?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, Republican intelligence.
Yeah. Well,
No,
there's an oxymoron
Republican
using Republican and intelligence in the same sentence.
Dude,
Don't do that.
please don't let that
Don't do
out
that.
because oh my God, if that took over the world
Yeah,
is doomed.
we're screwed.
We're all doomed.
Angie,
Well, I think we're
Hey,
infected.
John.
how are you doing,
Hi.
darling?
I'm doing a lot better. I was sick there for about a little over a
Oh, I'm
week.
sorry to hear that.
So,
But better now, huh?
anyway, I am.
Good,
I didn't think
good.
that mess I was ever going to get over it. But
Some things hang in there.
anyway,
baby.
I was listening to y'all about that gun thing. You know, we had a guy, and this is happening more and more and more around here. He was driving down on Brawley Parkway on his way home, about a mile away from his home, and he got shot and found him on the side of the road. I mean, they're just shooting people at willy nilly around here,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
just,
Crazy.
If we had a count of every gun violence in the country on a daily basis, if that's what they talked about on the news, there wouldn't be time for any other news.
Yeah, you better be careful and not give somebody the finger when you're driving. They might pull out a gun.
Oh,
and
Marcia
shoot
gets
you.
after me in that because when we were young, she knows me. I had a temper. You'd do something wrong, and I'd flip you off in a heartbeat. Nowadays, no, I don't do that. I just go ahead, idiot. You know, I'm not. Yeah, I've tempered myself over the years, and
It's too
it's good.
dangerous.
Oh,
It's
well.
good, and I've passed that on to my kids. I love it.
yeah.
Let me thank
But
Keith
no-
Thompson who came in with $2 and said, "Wait a minute, Miss Chick,
Yeah.
get your Google ready, okay, baby?
Yeah, I read it, but I didn't hear anything about that.
Is Clarence Thomas really quitting the Supreme Court?" From your mouth to God's ear. I wish. Thank you, Keith. I wish. I wish he had that kind of integrity to take himself off the court, but he's not going to do that, I don't think. I wouldn't think so unless somebody absolutely had him nailed to something, some crime, or something like that that they could hold over him.
The headlines that I'm reading are more like MSNBC is saying, Supreme Court president eyed by Clarence Thomas could soon vanish. This is the Hill. Senate Judiciary holds Supreme Court ethics hearings after Clarence Thomas reports. I see nothing about him.
I think it had to do with George Washington University.
Okay.
As a lecturer.
So they're just teasing us.
Yeah, there might have been something about that, and it got mixed around.
Yeah.
They need to hold ethics hearings on this. It's outright ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Because they've lost every bit of credibility they have.
It is Congress's job to hold hearings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are not the ultimate power in this. What is my antivirus?
No, they are the first ones to be given power, above the president and above the Supreme Court.
Yes, but they don't have the power. The Congress today, I was watching, and what's his name, Sheldon Whitehouse, and another person, a woman. I don't remember her name because I didn't see it. She was saying that there's something like an Article 3 that gives Congress the power to administer the Supreme Court. She said we can't tell them what decisions they should make, but we do have the power to administer the court, and so we have the power to set ethics. We have the power to control.
Exactly, and that's why I call on Congress to do your job.
Oversight. Job. That's Congress's job is oversight, and that includes the Supreme Court.
To control and make laws on the Supreme Court.
Isn't it sad that we have to be at that point in our national history that we have to start demanding ethics within our court? Not that we probably haven't needed before. There's probably a million fucking stories come out of the Supreme Court. If we knew it all, we'd all be pissed. But these now are coming to light.
And this court is illegitimate, and we need to bombard this court with those postcards and let them know we know you're illegitimate.
Bernadette, I think they heard, because today during that committee meeting, it was mentioned that they are very upset that people are calling them illegitimate. So therefore, they have
maybe that using that vernacular. Yes.
Well, let them hear some more. The louder we get, the more
when you write to
the
wrong button. When you write to the Supreme Court, use that verbiage. Illegitimate. You have made your court illegitimate, immoral, unethical. Unethical.
There is a code of ethics of the Supreme Court that was implemented 30 years ago. Clarence Thomas is the only one on there who actually signed that 30 years ago. Now there's a new code that was just implemented last week, and Roberts is running around saying, well, they all signed it, so we can police ourselves.
No.
That wasn't a code of ethics. That was a letter saying, yeah, we know we have ethics and blah, blah, this and that. They didn't sign shit. They all just agreed that these are the procedures that we go through when we say we're doing the code of ethics.
They all agreed with each other that they're ethical is what they did.
Yes.
Well, yeah, probably. But if you're talking about the letter to Congress, or to I guess he did it to the Senate Democrats, the letter he sent.
And, Durbin.
Right. I did a video today on that letter. And basically, he's just doing a big word salad, trying to skirt around all the issues and not discussing anything.
And the judges did not sign that. They signed on to it. They agreed that this is what we do. This is what we do to call ourselves ethical. These are the steps that we're supposed to take.
In that letter, he brags about that.
Well, and their big deal is, well, who's going to oversee
John Roberts doesn't want any ethics court. His wife makes billions of dollars being a headhunter for a high-priced law firm.
It's no different than waving your hand in front of everybody and going, these are not the droids you're looking for.
The problem is that even if they have an ethics code, they don't have an enforcement method. And the Chief
Right,
Justice,
but that's not a very good excuse, DJ, because just because something
No,
is difficult doesn't mean it's
That's
impossible.
right.
I'm not, wait a
and
minute,
Congress
It
Congress
starts with an
can
impeachment within the
make it
House.
ethical.
I'm not handing it out as an excuse. I'm handing it out saying they need an enforcement method and they need a set of disciplinary rules that maybe the Chief Justice can enforce. And whenever something happens, they need to have an enforcement arm. They don't have one.
The same ethics code that all the other federal judges have to live under. How about that one? Seems
They
to
don't.
work for
They're
them.
above that. They're above that. They're the Supreme Court.
Nobody is above the law. Isn't that what
Nobody is
we
above
say
the
that all the
law.
time here?
They
Especially
that's
the
their
law.
attitude. They think they are above it when they're not.
There's the problem. They think they are above the law.
They think that they are. And I say go Sheldon Whitehouse because he's on the right track about these fuckers not claiming the things that they should be claiming as gifts and prosecute them under existing laws.
We don't have to make anything up.
Well, you know,
No, under
we've
existing
actually stepped on a few egos, and you know, they worked their way
Pray
into
tell.
where they are, and have always been supposedly held in high esteem to be in that position, and now nobody's holding them in high esteem, and they're all upset. Like, I worked really hard to get here.
How am I
We're
supposed
the
to hold
ones
somebody
dying for
in
it.
high esteem when I find out that you've been taking massive luxury trips on a guy whose main hobby is collecting Hitler memorabilia? I have a problem there.
And Supreme Court justices, you know, the guy who did the correspondence dinner the other night, he made a joke that, you know, what is this guy's name? I can never remember his name.
Which
Who
one?
bought Thomas, the guy who bought Thomas. Say,
Oh,
Roy Wood is the comedian.
you
What's the
mean the
name
guy,
of the guy
the rich guy that bought the
Yes.
trip?
the billionaire?
Harlan Crow.
There you go.
Harlan Crow.
Yeah.
Harlan Crow has bought half of the black people on the court, okay? And there's only 2 black people.
There's only 2 and he's
And
bought
he
half.
owns one of them.
I'm pretty sure he probably
I'm just
has half
saying,
the
I'm
court
just
in
saying.
his pocket
Yeah.
anyway.
He threw it out there, and you know, I was like, well, damn, he's right. He did buy half of the black people on the court.
Oh dear.
Oh, Lord. Had to take a sip on that one. So
No,
where do we
that's
go,
it.
baby? Where do we go? What do we do?
We keep voting. We keep
vote.
raising our voices. We keep sending postcards. We keep gathering every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday until we get our democracy back to the way
Keep
that it
bitching
was
about it.
supposed
We
to
just
be.
keep bitching. You know, come on.
Well, another headline in the news today was
We keep phone banking. We keep supporting Democratic
Indeed.
candidates all across this country.
That's-
This
I
is
love-
what
see,
we keep
get
doing.
fired
We
up.
keep encouraging our grandchildren and our children to vote.
To pay attention.
John
Have
we
Trump
need to-
compassion and
in the news
empathy.
today about
And
the
we need to change
Supreme
red states to blue.
Court.
And do not
Yep.
leave the education of your grandkids up to these unified school districts. I don't. In fact, I talked to Dominic's math teacher yesterday. Okay.
Good.
Don't leave it up to them. Teach your children at home. You have the internet. You can educate your child, and hey, you get to spend some time.
Both my
You get to
kids
spend
were
some time with them.
homeschooled. When I retired in
Absolutely.
2001 and we wanted to travel the country, that's what I wanted to do before I died, and visit everywhere. So you can't do that with kids in school at our age. So shit, we're old parents. Let's just take them out of school. We can teach them, and we did. I had the law show up at my house here one time. Hey, we hear your kids aren't in school. Yeah, let me show you the law here, buddy. It's right here. Do you want to see our classroom or anything come in the house?
Hey, John.
Check anything out? No, it's okay.
If you were in Arkansas,
Get the fuck outta here.
the bills that have passed in Arkansas, you'd get paid for home teaching your children.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not easy, and I'm sure Bernadette would back you up on that. If it's a commitment, you have to put the
It
effort
is
into
not
it.
easy.
No,
It is a lot of
no.
effort. It's well worth the effort. I see the difference. I see
have-
the difference.
I have in my kid's life. You know, just the way they've turned
Yeah.
out. They
Yeah.
do have compassion and empathy for people. They do have concerns about a wide-ranging number of subjects. You know,
I don't think that's because of homeschooling, John. That's
no,
just because of
no,
their parents.
it is.
Well, when I
I'd
went
like
to
to
high
think it is
school,
anyway.
But
I'm
when I
proud
but
of
went
them.
to high
parenting
school,
is a
you don't
part of
have to.
homeschool. You're going to teach these kids how to grow up and be decent and powerful.
Yes,
Not only human beings, but parents, should they choose to become parents
indeed.
themselves.
You pass it on. You know, it's the life that you choose that's it's going to bear the fruit, baby. It's
When I was in high school, it was a joke. And I mean, the school was just more of a babysitter than anything else. But the thing about it was the older guys hazed all of us when we were freshmen and sophomores. And I think one of the things that really hurts the school, if they, I don't know if they still have it, they're supposed to not have hazing, but I bet they do. Anyway, I think that taught the people in the lower grades of high school, freshmen and sophomores, how to be cruel to the people that come after them, and that was a terrible thing. I thought the hazing. It taught us that
Yeah.
violence was a way of
You know,
life.
that's a part. That's a part of. You know, Dominic is experiencing all of that as he transitions back into going back to school and being with his own um,
yeah.
age group and the whole bit. It's part of the social dynamic of this country, and it's something that he would love to stay at home and work on the computer again and be homeschooled again. I need a break, okay? And there are teachers out there.
There's that part.
Yeah, there's that part.
but
There is that
but I
part.
tell you, I'm involved every single day. Every single day. Like I said, I spoke to his teacher yesterday. Um, and you know, I'm involved with every aspect of his growing up and learning the right shit. You
Yeah.
know, we
And
deal with what he
I'm
deals
sure a
with
lot
in
of
the
our family
classroom,
members are
and
probably
then
dealing
and
with
then
their
we deal
grandchildren
with
more than their children.
yeah, yeah.
Bernadette,
And
It's the
the
same.
best part about it is I get to spend time with my
There
grandson,
you go.
having conversations.
And he's a
Bernadette,
smart kid.
and are you being welcome?
Am I
Are you
being
being
welcomed by whom?
at the school by the teachers?
Um, they don't have the opportunity to welcome me or not.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not an
imposing
option.
myself because I have a right that my grandson has a right to get an education, and so
Mm-hmm.
I impose myself on certain situations, and they don't give me no shit.
I
They don't.
bet
They
not.
Yeah,
listen.
when
I bet not, especially
when
being a teacher. It's like,
Well,
no,
a
you
good
can't.
portion of
I've used
Yeah,
that line
I'm
good
before.
glad.
portion of
I'm glad the
teachers want
teacher
to
is
see some
finally calling
involvement.
me instead of me calling them.
Yeah.
Dude,
right,
please call me.
What
You
were you
know,
going?
she got my phone number. I got her phone number.
It's phone
Please
speed
call
dial.
me.
Miss Chick,
You
you
know,
were going to
hey,
say?
and you know, the best thing was that she told me if I had a classroom full of Dominics, my job would be on
What better
easy
what better
street.
compliment could you have right there?
Yeah.
Exactly.
that is a
Yeah.
good compliment.
There you go. Miss Chick,
You
you
know,
were going to
when
say?
my
Oh, I'm just saying that most teachers are happy to have a parent be involved or a grandparent, anybody who's
Anybody
taking
involved.
notice and involved in the child's education.
Yes.
Now, sadly, it has changed. It used to be when my oldest, who's 41 now, um, was in school. Guess who was in every grade spent time in the classroom?
Would that be
Me.
you?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And it used to
Yeah.
be that you could go and,
You
hi, say
still
hello to the,
you
and go in and help
Right.
in the
you still
classroom. You
can.
can't do that too
You
well, though.
yes, you can in my school. You can
Well, I mean, you
at
have to make
Dominic's school.
arrangements and stuff, and there's
Um,
security and blah blah blah.
no,
But
I can
have
drop in at any time and sit in any class I want to.
well, that's
have
good.
you
That's
have you
in the
seen our school here
handbook.
in Mathis, John?
What's that, Joe?
Have you seen the school here in Mathis, the high school?
I've
And
seen it.
okay, does it look like a prison?
Mm.
It could be. Put some barbed
You
wire
see,
around.
you they have a high fence on the middle school, the high school, and the what do you call that other one?
Yeah,
Elementary
you
school.
can't.
The
Yeah, I
elementary,
drive by the high school every time I come into town
yeah,
over to Mathis.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and you have a guard that asked a few questions.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
completely fenced in.
Do
oh
they
yeah,
have
and
razor
I went
wire
to
on
school.
top?
Excuse me.
Do they have razor wire on top of the fence?
Not really, but you really can't unless you're really determined to come over that fence.
Yeah, it's a pretty tall one.
It's a pretty tall one.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
for someone like me, no problem.
yeah.
Hey, I went to school in LA Unified, okay? And this was back in the late 70s and early 80s. And we had metal detectors then, okay?
Wow,
Going into school. Yeah. Yeah.
ahead of the times.
Yeah. We talk LA Unified, sweetie.
I can only imagine.
I
Okay.
don't want to imagine.
But when my middle daughter was in school and I was called that she was flunking and this and that, and I went to the school and I talked to him and talked to the teacher that was involved,
Right.
and I asked her what seems to be the problem, and she says, well, she doesn't want to learn. I said, well, does she ask you questions? Oh, she asks a bunch of questions. I don't have time to answer all her questions. And I said, well, there's the reason why she's flunking. Because if she's asking you questions and you don't give her the answer, not the answer to the problem, but questions of how to understand, then you're not doing your job.
No.
Because that's your job to find the way. Because not every student is the same.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not easy being a teacher either.
No, it isn't. But when I went to school, I had a math teacher that was always reading a penny novel during class. And I would ask a question. She says, "You don't know how to read? You don't understand?" That was the answer I got.
Well,
Yeah,
Joe,
that
when
was
I
the
was in
burned out
high
teacher,
school,
what that was.
when I was in high school, Joe, I had a calculus teacher my senior year in high school,
Mhm.
and he just stood with his back to the classroom and he wrote derivations and calculus derivations on the board. Did not explain any of it. He just expected us to understand what he was writing on the board. He didn't turn around and
Ab-
explain anything.
Absolutely. You know, and when I quit school as a junior, uh, my dad said, "What you gonna do?" And I said, "Well, I'm gonna go to because Del Mar College had a GED program, and I went to the GED program, and the professor there said, 'It's your money. If you got a question, it's my job to answer.'" Well, I got an A in algebra
Right on.
because, you see, I asked questions, and he found a way to get the message through to me where I understood, and that was the difference.
Right on.
A 6-month course, I did it in 3 months.
Very good.
Well, there was
So,
only
Yeah.
one or two good teachers in high school, and one of them was a science teacher I had. And the problem with that is he was so good they made him a principal, took him right out of teaching. And
Wow.
the other
Took him out.
was a history teacher, and he was from Hell's Kitchen in New York. Had a big scar across his face where he'd gotten cut with a razor in Hell's Kitchen. And he was one of the best teachers I had in terms of history. And he taught us to also read. He told us to go to the library, get books, take them out and read them. And he really encouraged us to read. His name was Mr. Schultz,
Good.
the history.
Right on.
Always have a good teacher in your life. It's always helpful. I just
Yeah.
noticed the news. Something
It's a
came
role
up
model.
there about
It's a role model.
my governor.
Uh-oh.
My governor put out a retraction.
oh,
Yeah.
What,
Boy, howdy
from
shit.
what?
Because he got his ass
Okay.
kicked for being a jackass. In a statement on Monday, Abbott's spokesman, of course, he didn't come out and say it himself, Renee E. said that we have since learned that at least one of the victims may have been in the United States legally. We regret the information was incorrect and detracted from the important goal of finding and arresting the criminal. Any loss of life is tragedy, and our hearts go out to the families who have lost a loved one. Why didn't that
That
heart
should
go
have
out
been-
right after it happened?
yeah.
That wasn't the first thing on his mind.
No. His
That
first
was
thing.
that one of those non-apology
Yes.
apologies?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it did come out of
I
his
didn't
mouth
hear
as a
him
spokesman for him.
That he
Because
was
he ain't
sorry
got
for
enough
saying
courage to-
anything.
No.
No, he does
Loss
not have
of
enough courage.
life. Period. Loss
Yeah.
of life. I don't care who's legal, who's illegal.
What human is illegal? What's, I do. I get, because I've lived in South Texas just about all my life. And it is such a constant contrast down here between those that care and those that hate. And the reason I use the word hate is because there's one group of people, because this is a terrible area to try to come, if you are trying to move through the United States, come to the United States undetected. A lot of migrants do. They're just trying to get someplace where they know they have a job, and I can get into that situation real easy, because guess who's fucking hiring them? Anyway, we have groups out here that will go out into the brush, and I'm talking miles and miles and miles of nothing. That ain't nothing out there that isn't going to scratch you, poke you, bite you, or whatever the hell. It's called brush country, baby. That's all it is. It's nothing but cactus and mesquite and stickers. But they put up water stations out there to help migrants, because we've had so many of them die of thirst in the brush. They find them because the buzzards are circling. It's either a cow or a human. You got to go look. Ranchers find them all the time. But there's another group that go behind those people and kick over the fucking water.
Yep.
How hateful, that just, and as I said,
self-appointed militia.
huh?
The self-appointed militia.
Yes, we got a lot of that down here.
Absolutely.
I was at
They
the
have-
exterminate all the brute people.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they'd rather see you die in the desert than make your ass into this country.
I mean,
And
The hardness of a heart
yeah.
like that, I just can't fathom. There's some
Nope.
heart, it's,
and to go out of your way to destroy.
yes,
And
but-
they enjoy that.
Water. It's
They
Yeah.
actually enjoy doing that
yeah,
because their
I
hearts
love
are so dark.
them of that.
It's no different than back in the day when they enjoyed doing lynchings. It's no fucking different.
damn.
Absolutely.
Let me send out a thank you here real quick. Nana Lovely just came in with 10, I'm sorry? Let me,
Go ahead, John.
okay.
Continue, John.
That's all right. Nana Lovely came in with $10 and said, my granddaughter lost her mind in the 8th grade. I now have staff calling her Rapunzel. She lives in Tower 1. Tower 2 is reserved for her cousin, the wizard, when he gets caught with his phone in class. Oh, Lord. Rapunzel and the wizard. Baby. Thank you, Nana Lovely. Take care of yourself, darling. Why was I thinking about you? I'm trying to remember something I did that picked up that you sent me, Tammy, and I'll remember it here in a few minutes what that was. I just can't think of it. I picked up something that she sent me. I can't remember what it was.
Don't let that squirrel run in front of you.
Oh man, I got squirrels all over this house. Are you shitting me?
Hey, John,
Up in my trees, up in
talking
my
about
brain.
the cruelty of the people in Texas, a prisoner, her name was Kawanta, Kwaneta, Kwaneta. I don't know how to pronounce Harris, and she started to. She was a nurse who's in prison now for killing her significant other. But anyway, she started listening to the other prisoners talk in their cells, and they were all talking about partial birth abortion, which doesn't even exist. And she started to explain that to them, and the guard heard her, and he came up to her, and he tried to. He warned her that he was going to he was going to write her a ticket for disobeying prison rules, and he was going to try and find some Texas laws that had passed since Roe versus Wade was overturned, so that they could add criminal charges to her, and they finally ended up throwing her in solitaire.
It's Texas.
That's Texas.
I lost
This
that
is why I
story
can't come to
somewhere.
Texas, y'all. Because, I'm going to run my mouth and, yeah.
We
If I'm
have
going to go to
problems
prison, it's
down
going
in
to be
this
here in
state.
California where,
We
I
are,
can
we,
see my
our
kids.
prison. It's business. Prisons are business. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter whether in this
business.
state or another state. It's all a business. You can trade stock prices
the
on the
13th Amendment.
U.S. Stock Exchange on how many prisoners are in a fucking prison. It's a business, baby. We make money off it. It's the same. It's free labor. is what it is.
Yep.
And it's the same thing when we was talking about immigration a minute ago, because for some reason that meatpacking company in Mississippi always comes to mind. They found over 150 migrants that worked in that were arrested and deported, and the reason they worked there was because it was the Americans that owned the fucking company. They want the cheap labor. They want to work your ass so many hours a day, and you can't go to the labor department and complain. Who are you going to complain to? Go down to the police department. Let them know you're here. They'll arrest your ass and throw you back to Mexico. It's Americans that take advantage of that shit. You know,
it's closer than you think.
It is. It's right outside our door, Joe, and you know it.
I worked 3.5 years in Beeville at a meat packing plant. My wife and I. 90% of the workers there were all from Mexico. And I learned how to grow up and be a man because I learned to work like them. Because the harder the work, the more
you can't say anything about the work ethic of those migrants. I'm telling you. And what's sad is, and I referenced today about peaches. $30 a peach. You want to pay $50 for a head of lettuce? Go find Americans that are going to go out there and pick that fucking lettuce. Pick them peaches off a tree.
John,
no, you're not going to find them. Yes, sir.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
A person believed to be the suspected shooter, accused of killing 5 neighbors in Texas, has been apprehended after a days-long manhunt.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
That's what got me in Facebook prison there, John.
That guy.
Because I said he should be shot on sight and right away.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to say unlived or something like that. You can't say that. They'll put you in Facebook jail and TikTok jail.
I am in jail. But I speak the way I feel. I'm kind of like Bernadette. If I feel like saying something, I'm going to say it.
There are pieces of me that are torn. I'm a pretty empathetic guy. I'm concerned about my fellow human beings. All the shit, all the night. But the other side of me, and in this case, this guy with the family members here, with 5 people. I understand most of this was caught on camera.
On cameras.
Because they had security cameras in the house. In the house and on the doorbell. So
I'm probably going to be
if they
put
have
in TikTok jail because I did a video today on the Supreme Court, and they were talking about an assassination attempt on Kavanaugh, which I hadn't heard anything about. But I made a quote like Joe, and I said in my video, it's too bad he missed, so I'll probably get in jail for that.
Yes.
I'm just saying that there are certain situations where I don't want a long trial. I don't want 10 years of shit. You know, and in cases where it's so blatant, where the evidence is overwhelming.
And so brutal.
Hey,
FYI, they found him north of Houston.
North of Houston.
He was in Cut and Shoot, Texas.
He's arrested in a city called Cut and Shoot.
Cut and Shoot? I know. I've been through Cut and Shoot.
Well, that's what they should have done to him. They should have cut him and they should have shot him.
Hey.
Let me catch up here real quick. John Dittybag. Hey, John, how you been, brother? John Dittybag came in with $10 and said, I'm so wild and crazy, I eat club sandwiches, and I'm not even a member. That's John. You don't pay no dues. I want that club. That's right.
Time to roll credits.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, damn.
Past
Look at us. Look at us.
Time flies. Time flies.
It is. I got a whole discussion today about Patreon. I need to do more for Patreon, and I intend to do that. So stay tuned.
What?
Oh, I got some irons in the fire. I got a desire for change. This is 7 years doing that. I've changed the set twice. The main set. We've been in one bedroom forever, and then we moved into here. And but you know, it's been y'all looking at the same thing over and over and over. This ain't getting no prettier, so the only thing I can do is like, I don't know, background. It's, you know, I'm putting on a show. It's either that or I start dancing. Anyway. No, I want to start doing more. I just have a desire to do more, to get more involved, and I need to find ways to do that. not just putting up an address, doing something more. Anyway, it's in my mind because I continue to see a world that is just, damn, this ain't going good, baby. You know, I don't care what you're talking about, whether it's the war in Ukraine, whether it's environmental reasons, social issues, the three-ring circus that is the Republican Party, the guns, immigration, and LGBTQ. You know, it's all just, there's issues that we have to deal with, and sometimes I just get the feeling that we're just not serious about it. That our lawmakers are not serious about it. They're sometimes happy with status
No,
quo.
they're serious. They're serious about one thing. That's keeping people distracted, disgruntled, so that they stay in power. That's what they're serious about.
On both sides.
Spreading
Sides.
fear and hatred is what keeps them distracted and ungrateful.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The Republican Party preach hatred.
Yes.
They preach fear.
Yes.
And thrive on hatred. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole nationalist movement.
And it started way back. I think that I've gone back to Reagan.
Well, for me,
Absolutely.
he was a big deciding factor in my lifespan. He was the big
Oh,
one that stands out and goes, oh, wait a minute.
You know, John,
Actually, it was
I do
Nixon.
want to say
Yes.
that if this person is the person to believe to have been the shooter in this incident down there in Texas,
Right.
I hope that it is him,
I hope.
just so
Me
that
too.
my friend Marcia can get some
Because
peace.
Marcia has been nervous. If you
Yeah.
live
Yes.
down here and you know the area,
Yes.
I'm glad that, because it would not take much to get from Houston down to this area. And if you're going to Mexico, you're coming through this area. Somewhere within a 50-mile radius of John, he's got to come through.
It would
Yeah,
have been
Marcia was
4
nervous.
hours, 15 minutes.
Not
4
long.
hours and 15
Not
minutes
long
to
at all.
get to San Pat.
So I hope it is him. And yeah, let's see how long he lasts. I mean, this is one of those stories because it's in the news. But again, we started this earlier in the show talking about if it's not on the news, it's not important with indigenous women. You know, we have so much work to do. Anyway, we'll save it for another day because there's always some issue to deal with every day, and until we get it right, and I don't think we ever will. So
There's always tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, we
the
have a
sun
Blue
will-
Dot Army. We'll just keep going.
That's it. Anyway, DJ.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Keep up the good
I
work,
enjoyed it.
JC the hippie.
That's me.
That's
JC
you.
the-
Keep doing the videos, brother.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. And Joe,
Yes, sir.
thank you, brother, for coming in.
Peace, love, and don't forget to drink milk and get high
That's
on
right.
life.
Drink milk.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna drink milk tonight, and then I'm gonna get high on life. I need help. I need help with the high. Anyway, Joe, thank you very much, brother.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Outstanding. And Miss Linda. Darling, Mary Ellen.
Hello, am I here?
You are here, Mary Ellen. Good night,
Oh,
dear.
good. Thought I got lost. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Ellen. We'll talk
Wandering around the
to you.
halls. of the
Wandering
dream.
around. We'll find you, baby. Don't worry. Anyway, Miss Chick, again, thank you so much for all the help. The
You're
Eternal Book of
welcome,
Knowledge.
John.
Thank you so much.
I don't know about that. but
Well,
I do know no more
I
stolen
know
sisters.
you're sitting there where you can reference shit.
There's
So
nothing in mine.
if I get hit with a sideball, then I can go, hey, somebody look up, and I know you're already doing it. So thank
I
you
tried.
for that. Between you and Bernadette, you're doing it. You keep me out of trouble. Y'all make the show.
I don't know about that. What do you think, Bernadette?
I don't know. Yeah,
I
I stay
think-
in trouble. So
I
all
think-
good trouble though. Good trouble.
Yeah,
I'm
good
starting
trouble's
good
always
trouble
good.
every day of the week.
And Bernadette, thank you so much, darling.
Thank you for letting us come in here and raise our voices, John.
We need a place to raise our voice, baby.
Amen.
Yes,
I'm happy to
absolutely.
oblige.
And thank you to the Blue Dot family who helped contribute tonight. You guys are awesome. Those
All right, dude.
Patreon members are something special, and
Yes,
it's
they
nice
are.
having a video
You're one of
the
them.
other day. I
Yes,
really appreciated that and felt your pain, bruh.
Hey,
Love you.
love you
my
back.
Marcia.
Love you
And
back.
love them boys.
How you like that? We went to the two doctors yesterday. Dentist for Tyler, had a wisdom
Good.
teeth pulled.
Good.
And then Marcia got some lab work done yesterday that needed to be done. Overdue.
And now we got to get John off to the optometrist.
John
Absolutely.
got,
Don't
hey,
forget the
I'm
cat.
working in that direction. I got an appointment
We'll have to
today.
go.
I got an appointment today
Yay.
for,
Yay.
it's written down
That-
right
that
here,
cat's that needs fixing
May
too.
30th at 9 a.m. in the morning, with my doctor.
There you go.
Right
It's
on.
a doctor. It's not an optometrist, but it is a doctor.
Well,
So
okay.
maybe
It's a start.
maybe it's a start. Yes, John has to get clear. As a matter of fact, yesterday when we was out doing blood work, and we had to go to the CVS to get oh shit,
CVS.
Squirrel.
Blood work.
squirrel. Let's chalk that one up, squirrel. Anyway, I guess we'll let you go. I want to
Is
thank
that
everybody
all?
for coming in, and indeed, those that donated tonight and our Patreon members, thank you so much for your help. We appreciate it tremendously. We forgot to tell everybody, we're getting ready for our Blue Dot Family Meetup in San Antonio, Texas, May 19th, 20th, and 21st. We will be downtown in the Riverwalk area. We will be somewhere between... squirrel. Anyway, we'll be somewhere on the Riverwalk
Somewhere
there.
around the Puffy Taco area, you'll find
Yeah,
it.
you look for Puffy Tacos, look for the Riverwalk, look for, what's the damn place, the Courtyard Inn?
Marriott?
Carry out.
Eric Courtyard by Marriott downtown.
Yes, that's where I'm staying, and then at the Wyndham on the Riverwalk is
Don't
where
forget
some
the
of our other Blue
downtown
Dots are
part,
staying,
mentioned.
and so between those there, you could hunt us down. Carolyn and John are staying at the Club Wyndham, and they are on the Riverwalk. So they got a motel right on the river. So that's really, really nice. It's really pretty.
And I'm trying to get.
You're going to be there, buddy, right?
I'll tell you.
The
Is
rest
it gonna
of us
be
are
acoustic
planning the
or is it gonna
rope
be
and the hog tie and everything. Get your ass up there. You're going with
Is
us.
it going to be acoustic or electric?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question because I asked Travis because, electric, you're going to have an amp. I'm driving a very small car, by the way, with four of us in there and all the luggage. So
Hey, John.
I'm thinking acoustic.
Better go acoustic.
Yeah, I'm thinking
John, if you
acoustic.
guys
Yes, sir.
are playing, would you consent to, if you guys play, to put a video out of you guys playing? Because I'd like to post it.
Video my ass. We're going to do it live.
Well, then I will post the live feed.
There you go. Yes,
Live from San Antonio, Texas, the Blue Dot meeting.
yes. And we
The
will.
Blue
Yes.
Dot Ramblers. The
Yeah.
Blue Dot Ramblers.
Joe, bring your
And
bring your
that's
acoustic. I'm sure Travis is going to bring one, and I know
Right.
Randy's got one. So there's half the trunk space right there.
I've been practicing.
All right, we'll
Let's
get all
wrap
the
this up,
logistics
guys.
over in the blue room.
Let's
guys,
do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. We'll sit here and discuss the trip. All right, y'all. Where were we? Oh yeah, y'all say good night.
Good
Like,
night.
sure.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, everybody.
Sweet dreams.
We
night,
indeed
Gracie.
best kind of dreams to have are those